Hello, friends. Check this out. There are only 250 days in a year. If you take away weekends and you take away a couple of weeks for vacation, and there's 250 days left, and I wanted to talk about how to be productive with those 250 days. And the walk that I'm taking right now is the same walk that my agents took every single Wednesday at noon, and we'd have a team meeting. And there was one day where I really wanted to drive home the point of being efficient with our time. And so to be able to kind of reference back in memory to that, and I have referenced with the agents that meeting in particular, and it was very memorable. Not because of anything in particular, but just because I did something really stupid. Sometimes a little gesture or something that you do can make things a little bit memorable. So in front of the door, I taped everything that I'm going to share with you. So they looked at it like, Jimmy, what the heck is this? And that beach picture was just a photograph that I always thought was like a cool picture here in the office, because I'm sitting in the office and I'm staring at a picture of a beach. So let's break this all down and check it out and see exactly how we can become a bit more productive. All right, so check this out, my friends. Um, We have 365 days in a year. You take away the weekends, which everyone wants to take, right? I want to get you guys to the point where you can take weekends off. People shouldn't be working 7 days a week, but you do have to be disciplined when you're working so that you can get the results you want, so you can have the time off that you want. That's important. All right. So you're going to take your couple weeks of vacation and take weekends off, you know, 250 days from that 365. That's a big difference, isn't it? Like the time, as we blink our eyes and the time goes by like that. Um, now, I like to tell people that if you miss a Friday every once in a while, or you miss a Monday every once in a while, most people don't do that. Most people don't call out every other Friday, right? Um, but it's really easy to miss Monday morning. You come in at noon, and then Friday afternoon you leave um, at noon, or maybe Wednesday you got a soccer game. Hey, I'm a dad of two kids. I get it, But my point is that half day twice a week is one full day. When you break that down, you're only at 200 days of productivity for the year, guys. That's a big difference. What are we talking right now? That's 20%. So if you want to get a 20% raise, all you got to do is make sure you show up. And then when you show up, you got to follow your plan. You got to be disciplined. You can't be scrolling Facebook and TikTok and all that stuff. You've got to follow a regimented plan. You've got to create your business from the ground up. What if 20%, 20% of your time? What if it's 20% of your income? So you miss 20% of the time, but now you're 20% less in income, guys. That's a big chunk. It adds up without realizing it. Kind of like it does with credit card debt, right? I mean, am I right on that? Like, before people realize, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this got to that amount. It's happened to me before. It's happened to anybody says it hasn't, is probably lying. Sales is not as cut and dry, you know. The reality is we don't have a business where you can show up and work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then go home and turn your phone off and disconnect. It just doesn't work that way. So there's a lot that you've got to figure out. But part of figuring it out is having the right systems in place so that you can keep people from reaching out to you at the times you want to be off. If you can figure an airtight enough system to where your clients are satisfied because you're fulfilling all of their needs, all of their requests before they have them, because you have a truly thorough business, versus them wondering like, well, what time is the walkthrough going to be? What time is settlement going to be? What time do we do this? How much do I need for that? If they've got to come to you and ask you for all of that information, it's because you didn't put it together and give it to them in advance. And here's the truth. People are still going to ask for those same things a second time, right? If I give people all the information they need today, and then 2 weeks go by, And we could have just shown up at that 2 week mark and they follow the instructions that I gave them and everything goes good. If that's the way it could work, but then they reach out to me. I can't control that. But guess what? Because I've already got that list in place, I can very easily just send it over to them. So I don't have to take time at an inopportune time for me to give them something that they need when they want it. Because I set the proper systems in place, it's now a win-win situation, guys. And when you start doing that with every aspect of your business, your life, your calendar, your leads, it makes a really big difference. Prospecting is the solution to 99% of problems in the real estate business. And I wrote it on there. Like, there are no secrets. Success is simple. You're giving your present self the discipline that your past self designed, so your future self can live the dream you always imagined. What the heck does that mean? It means you are your past self for tomorrow. So start working today. Start working. Put your system together. And then tomorrow, have the discipline to follow the system that your past self set up for you. So that tomorrow, the future self can be sitting on a beach. That's what you got to do. And that's absolutely what you can do, my friends. Like, this business, it's very demanding. Any sales business is going to be a very demanding business. But once you master your character, your legend, your persona, once you understand how to play the game, and we're going to go into all of that, from how to arrive at a property or at a meeting, how early do you show up, why do you do it that way, all of the etiquette that's attached to it, how do you close, what do you send afterwards, what do you do to deal with competing agents or other salespeople in different industries. These are all going to be little micro videos just like this in different episodes. It's funny because I was looking at this sheet. I made a little note here. I was looking at this sheet, and it was back in 2021 that I made my first video idea. I'm a big fan of taking notes for things that I want to do in the future, things that I want to work on. So back in 2021, I wasn't in a place in my life where I wanted to get into teaching people and coaching. I've coached and taught everywhere I've been. I teach kids jiu-jitsu. I've taught people pre-scuba in the Marine Corps to get ready to send them to dive school. I've taught people in my team real estate. I've brought on and mentored lots of agents through the years. I've coached. I have the heart of a teacher. In 2021, I realized that I wanted to start putting this together, but I wasn't ready to be a teacher in this industry yet. So it took me 4 years, and during that 4 years, I was studying, putting things together, working, and I always send myself an email just to a specific account I have. It just says video idea ... The subject line is just a simple sentence. So it's literally just a simple sentence. But my point is, these are the video ideas from, I don't know, maybe the last week, and I've got 300 plus in my email account, and I'm going to be launching these on this YouTube channel. So if you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe so that you can get notified when the new content comes out. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.